What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Talking Sports Podcast right here on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. As always, I am your host, Peter DiBiasi. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Road to 6K continues. I'm going to say it. If you haven't checked it out, go check out our most recent episode, which is our NFL wildcard preview. But you might be thinking, Pete, why would I check it out if it already happened? I get it. Just go support it, drop a like, drop a comment on it if you really feel like it. And as always, we are sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Use code TSP for 100% deposit match up to $100 on Underdog Fantasy. Link is in the description. And social media, Talking Sports PD on X and on Instagram, where you can find all our links to our Instagram, all our links to our Twitter, depending on what platforms you are, but all our links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And both of those are in the description, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So is the YouTube channel. Enough of me talking about that. Let's talk about some football. Divisional round preview. This is going to be a fun one because we got 4 games. We have 2 games on Saturday, Bills, Broncos, and 49ers, Seahawks. 2 games on Sunday, Texans, Patriots, and Rams, Bears. Wildcard weekend gave us 6 games. It gave us 4 great games and 2 somewhat snooze fests of games. But we got 4 games coming up this weekend, a couple upsets we saw this past weekend. Obviously, we'll see both 1 seeds on Saturday. So let's get into the preview 2 minutes in. If you guys want to timestamp these, this is when our preview starts. The 6 seed Buffalo Bills traveling to Mile High, taking on the Denver Broncos. Previous games, Bills defeated the Jaguars in the wild card round, 27-24. Tremendous game. Bills scored late with a Josh Allen QB sneak, or almost a QB sneak, one of the greatest QB sneak touchdowns ever, then ended up actually QB sneaking it. Bills get a stop on a Trey White deflection, Cole Bishop interception. Bills, the underdog Buffalo Bills, go into Jacksonville and beat the Jaguars 27-24. And then the Denver Broncos are coming off a bye week. So Bills at Broncos on CBS at 4:30. As of now, I'm recording Wednesday night. You guys will be listening or watching this Thursday morning into Friday, into Saturday, into Sunday. Right now, the Bills and Broncos spread via DraftKings. Denver Broncos are -1.5, so they're slight favorites over the Buffalo Bills. But obviously, that is subject to change. Let's break down the Buffalo Bills. They're coming off a 27-24 victory over the Jaguars. Kincaid was great. Brandon Cooks was great. Khalil Shakir were great. James Cook was not able to get anything going. I talked about that on the preview episode, that the Jacksonville Jaguars were really good at stopping the run. They didn't let up a running back over 75 yards all year. They didn't against James Cook. The Bills had to find a way to score points in other ways. They ended up scoring 27, so they figured it out and obviously won the game. Right now, as we know, guys, Bills are top 5 in points per game. Josh Allen had over 4,300 yards, 25 passing touchdowns. The Bills were top 10 in third down conversion rate, 63% red zone touchdown rate, which is a very good number. Top 3 pass defense by yards allowed. They are giving up under 215 passing yards allowed per game. They're very good, and this is what they did against Jacksonville. Excellent at coverage disguise. If you go back and watch the All-22 film of what the Bills did against Jacksonville, that was a lot of Sean McDermott in his bag, doing his thing in the sense that they were able to disguise coverage. They were able to confuse Trevor Lawrence. If you go back and watch that game, one, the Bills did a good job of they didn't want sack on Trevor Lawrence. So I'm not going to sit here and say they sacked Trevor Lawrence all afternoon. They did not. But they were able to keep him off balance, push him off balance, able to kind of make his life a little bit more difficult than it had to be. Obviously, I think the Bills in the fourth quarter pass defense struggled at times. They had an iffy call against Christian Benford. But if you're going the game 1 through 10, like if you're scaling that game as a whole, the pass defense was great. And they did a great job of disguising their coverages. Bo Nix has had a good second year, but Bo Nix, like Trevor Lawrence, has not had a lot of postseason experience. And for Bo Nix, has not had a lot of regular season experience. It's only his second year in the NFL. The Bills are going to coverage disguise it. They're going to disguise their coverage ad nauseum against the Broncos. Their run defense is what's going to concern me. I do think they're facing a worse, quote-unquote, rush offense than what we saw on Saturday against Jacksonville. They're facing J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. I don't think they're Tua and Travis Etienne. A couple trends for the Bills before we flip over. I'll give you guys 3 trends for each team before we flip over to the other team, and obviously vice versa. Bills have 5 straight playoff wins versus wild card teams. So obviously the Bills are coming in hot in the sense of they find a way to win wild card round and divisional round, obviously outside the Kansas City Chiefs. Season turnover margin +8, and then their point differential, their average point differential in the last 10 wins is +7.8. That ranks highest in the National Football League. For the Bills, I'll give you my prediction at the end and tell you why or why not I think they'll win or lose, depending on what you guys think. Denver Broncos, right? We haven't seen the Denver Broncos in a couple weeks. I'm going to mention that when we break down Seattle and San Fran. Are we getting that weird bye team gets a lull? Like, does the bye I'm not throwing a stat at you. I'm not giving you this most analytical analogy here. Do we see teams at times, and I think this is true, do we see teams at times struggle after a bye? Or not saying they're going to lose the game after the bye, but do they come out a little lackluster, kind of lulled? Or are they sleepwalking through the first half? Can you do that against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen? Probably not. So points per game, Denver Broncos 24.1, a step behind the Buffalo Bills. They're 10th in the league. They have a balanced run/pass offense. They're not putting everything on Bo Nix, and they're not putting everything on the run game. In order for this offense, and at times it's been very bad, in order for this offense to succeed, they need to be able to do both. They need to be able to beat you over the air, and they need you to be able to run the ball. If you take one of those two away, the offense becomes very stagnant, and that's when they have struggled this year. Top 10 in fewest turnovers, and they're a really strong time of possession team. That's good against Buffalo. You're trying to take Josh Allen off the field. Defensively is where they are the strongest at, right? Second overall best defense, fewest allowed yards per game, top 5 in sack rate, top 5 in pressure rate, top 5 in opponent red zone touchdown percentage, and they're allowing less than 17 points per game at home. So the offense at times has been the reason they have been in close games. If you guys have looked, the Denver Broncos have played a ton of close games. They're in a ton of close games. The reason they've won a lot of these close games, not because of the offense, but because what I just mentioned, one of the better defenses in the country or in the NFL. Top 5 in sack rate, top 5 in pressure rate, opponent red zone touchdown percentage, top 5. They're allowing less than 17 points per game at home. This team has been very good defensively, especially at home. Some trends heading into this game. Opponents score 6.5 fewer points per game than their season average. So if you're averaging 27, you're scoring a little more than 20 there. You're scoring 21 or you're scoring 20 and a half, whatever it is. You're scoring less than you usually do. And the Bills are high 20s in offensive points per game. They're coming in an 8-game home winning streak, and they're 14-3 overall, a great regular season. Score prediction, what do we got? Let me know, the guys, in the comment section. Like I said on Wednesday night, the Denver Broncos are -1.5. If you think the Bills are going to win this game, if you're picking the Bills to win this game, the Bills need to find a way to get some receiver help. They have been decimated by injury, and they've been decimated by the lack of production in town. Last week they lost Joshua Palmer on IR. This week they lose Gabe Davis and Tyrell Shavers for the year. Right now their receivers are Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, and Brandon Cooks. Funny thing enough, Brandon Cooks and Khalil Shakir have been great for the Buffalo Bills. They're going to lean on James Cook in the passing game. Do they get Ty Johnson back? They're going to lean on Ty Johnson back in the passing game if he does play. And they're going to lead on, obviously, Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. Kincaid's their best receiver next to Khalil Shakir. I think the Bills do enough offensively to win this game. I think it's a low-scoring game. The over-under right now is 45.5. I don't know if that hits. I like Buffalo 21, Denver 17. I think the Bills cover. I think they win 21-17 over the Broncos. I don't know if the Denver offense can do enough offensively to beat the Bills, because I think the Bills' pass defense has been good enough. Low-scoring game, Bills 21, Denver 17. Okay, funny enough, we got both 1 seeds. Well, we got another 1 seed. The 6 seed 49ers at the 1 seed Seattle Seahawks. Did we see this game this year? Oh, we saw this game twice. I'm joking. They play in the same division. They split this year, but San Fran won week 1 and Seattle won at the end of the year. So maybe that's telling you what this team could be. Spread right now as of Wednesday night. This game is at 8 o'clock on Fox. Seattle is -7 points. Obviously, Seattle's coming off a bye, like Denver. I'm not going to say it again, but I'll quickly mention it. Do we see a team that comes off in a lull? Potentially with the bye. I already gave you my rationale behind Denver. It goes to the same for Seattle. San Fran's coming off an upset win. They covered the spread. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles 23-19. I did not pick the 49ers to win that game. I picked the Bills to beat the Jaguars, but I picked the Eagles over the 49ers. So I was wrong there. 49ers at Seahawks. We talked about the 49ers a little bit earlier, but like they're 25 plus points per game. Their offense has been good. Heavy motion / play action offense, top 10 yards after catch. Best run game, controls tempo. That's the key for the San Francisco 49ers. And newsflash, if you lived under a rock, didn't watch that game, George Kittle, unfortunately, and it's terrible what happens to the 49ers, and George Kittle's been injured a ton. He tore his Achilles. So George Kittle is not playing in this game. And that's their best receiver option, in my opinion, outside of CMC. So you take away one of the better or one of the top 2, top 3, wherever you want to rank them tight ends in the league away to have to go to Seattle. That is a tough task. So if you're going to bet on anything, I'm not telling you what to bet on. I bet you that CMC overs on a lot of things. If the 49ers are going to win this game or be in this game, they're going to lead on Jawan Jennings and they're going to lead on CMC. Brock Purdy's going to have to play lights out. I thought Brock Purdy at times was good against Philly, but at times he forced balls and he got himself in trouble and threw a couple interceptions. I don't know if you can get away with a couple interceptions in Seattle. I just don't think their defense is good enough. I think their defense is too good, and I think their offense is good enough to bite you and punish you for turning the ball over on the road there. Another issue with San Fran, right? Their defense. I thought, 19 points to the Eagles I thought that was a pretty valiant effort. If they give up 19 points against Seattle, do they win the game? I don't know, but I think they have a legit chance if they give up only 19 points to Seattle. So if you hold them under 20, you probably have a chance to win this game. Can San Fran hold them under 20, a team in back-to-back weeks? Like they're bottom third in yards allowed. They're inconsistent at getting after the quarterback. They rely on turnovers. The good thing is Sam Darnold is a turnover-prone quarterback at times. And when he does turn the ball over, he turns the ball over in bunches. Can they get after Sam Darnold? They have not been able to consistently get after the quarterback at all this year. They're potentially getting Fred Warner back. It doesn't help the pass rush, but it helps the linebacking core because of how good Fred Warner is. Can they find a way to consistently get after Sam Darnold? Some trends. Road underdogs have been very good this year. Bills last week. You had the 49ers last week too. You had those are the two road underdogs that won. So road underdogs at times have been pretty good. Struggle when trailing early. They have to find a way to not get themselves in a hole. Like when they lost to Seattle a couple weeks ago, they got themselves in a hole and they were never able to get out of that hole. I don't think they can do that this week. And multiple times when they've lost, they've scored under 20 points. But the problem is they're going to probably up against the best, if not the best, if not one of or two of the best defense in the NFL in Seattle. They struggle when they score under 20 points. Like they just don't win games in the teens. They have to score. For the most part this year, they have had to outscore teams. Flip over to Seattle. We haven't seen Seattle. Why haven't we seen Seattle? They've been on a bye. They've earned the number 1 overall seed and home field throughout the postseason divisional round, and if they make it the AFC Championship game, it runs through Seattle at the moment, like it runs through Denver at the moment. Ranking offense, 8th overall offense, 350 yards plus per game, balanced and efficient attack. Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker is a two-headed monster that at times has been a little stagnant, but they give you two options of different dimensions. They can run the ball. They're going to want to run the ball. They're top 10 in early down success rate, and they're a low mistake profile team. The only thing I want to say about that is when Sam Darnold hasn't had a turnover problem this year, but when he has turned the ball over, it's like an avalanche. It's like one leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. A Rams game, 4 turnovers earlier this year. That's what comes to my mind. If San Fran can find a way to do that, then they can force turnovers. But Seattle's going to run the ball. JSN's been great. And Sam Darnold's been very good at taking care of the football. Defensively, top 10 in explosive plays allowed, excellent tackling unit, and strong red zone defense. They are when you get in the red zone, they hold you to 3, or they force turnovers, or they force you to go 4 and 4th down, and you don't get it. They're a strong red zone defense. Okay, some trends for them. Obviously, 14-3, NFC's best record. Beat San Fran at the end of the regular season, 13-3, and they're allowing less than 21 points per game at home. What do we do here? Prediction. Let me know down in the comments section if you have the 49ers or the Seahawks. Once again, as of Wednesday night, Seattle is -7 points via DraftKings. I'm going with Seattle. I think San Fran covers the 7. I really do. So I think San Fran covers. I think Seattle wins. Funny enough, guys, sorry to go back that, but I went 4-2 against the spread on the weekend. So 4-2 picking spreads this weekend. We'll see what I do in these 4 games, but I went 4-2. So that was a nice little weekend for me there. Going back to the prediction, I like Seattle over San Fran. I think that San Fran covers the 7, but I take Seattle. I think Sam Darnold won't turn the ball over. It'll be a low-scoring game. I don't know if San Fran's defense is going to be able to do enough, and I think Seattle can stop San Fran a couple times to win this game, and I think the loss to George Kittle is just too much for San Fran to overcome. So I'll take Seattle over San Fran, but I'll take San Fran laying the points. And obviously, in the Bills, I took the Bills +1.5 if they're going to win the game outright. So on Saturday, I have the Bills beating Denver and Seattle beating San Fran. Let me know down in the comment section. Before we flip over to Sunday, I'll take a drink of water. And as always, we are sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Use code TSP. Okay, moving on. We're going to Sunday, 3 o'clock on ESPN and ABC. The 5-seed Houston Texans at the 2-seed New England Patriots. It's a game that we've seen both teams this postseason. Like in Seattle and Denver, we have not seen them. They're the 1 seeds. Right now, as of Wednesday night via DraftKings, New England Patriots are -3.5. Texans are coming off a Monday Night Football win in the postseason over Pittsburgh 30-6, where they had 2 defensive touchdowns and their defense was going nuts. Flip over to the Patriots and Chargers. The Patriots beat the Chargers 16-3. I picked the Texans to win that game over the Steelers, right? But I did pick the Chargers over the Patriots, so I was wrong there. And the Patriots defense was great. Let's talk about the Texans one more time. Offensive rank. I'm not going to like they're really big play dependent. You saw the only time when they were good against Pittsburgh is when they hit Christian Kirk deep. I don't know if Nico Collins plays in this game. If Nico Collins doesn't play in this game, that is a huge issue for the Houston Texans. He's their best big play receiver. Christian Kirk was good, but he's not Nico Collins. CJ Stroud has to not you-know-what himself. Basically, you-know-what himself. Don't do that again because he did that last time and his defense bailed him out. He has to find a way to not turn the ball over. He was just in a road environment. He wins in the postseason outside of playing against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. He wins in the postseason when he's been in these few times. But he had so many turnovers against Pittsburgh. His defense was just so good, and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense was an absolute joke on Monday night. They have to find a way to not turn the ball over and be efficient offensively and not only rely on the deep ball. Find a way to run the ball. They have not been able to consistently run the ball this year. Defensively, what do I need to talk about defensively? Just go back and watch Monday night and see how good defensively they were. They get after you in the front 7. They have a great secondary and they force turnovers. Like what defense is better than them? I don't think there's a better defense in the National Football League, right? Top 3 in pressure rate, top 3 in scoring defense. Fewest yards allowed. They're elite at limiting explosive plays. They're great defensively. They're great defensively. And they were great Monday night against Pittsburgh. Some trends for them. Most wins they've held their opponents under 20. It shows how good their defense is, but it also shows you what they need to do defensively in order to win games because their offense has been so inconsistent this year. Their defense has been very good on the road. I'm not going to say it too loud for Patriots fans. Their defense has been very good on the road. They were great Monday night on the road in Pittsburgh. When they're leading at halftime, they're basically nearly perfect win rate. When they're winning at halftime or leading at halftime, they have a basically near perfect win rate. So that is something that I bet you ESPN/ABC flashes if indeed Houston's leading at halftime. Flip over to the Patriots. They're coming off a 16-3 win over the Los Angeles Chargers. Their defense was great. Drake May was not. He was not. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Drake May did not play well. He did not play well. Did he do enough for them to win? Yes. He had a fumble. He also had a pick that their defense bailed them out for, so you better go give him a hug because your defense bailed you out on that bad pick that it was a good defensive play, so I'm not going to say bad pick, but on that pick. He also had another fumble that they ended up recovering. So he fumbled twice. One the offense recovered, the one the defense recovered, and he threw a pick. He cannot do that against Houston's defense. You have 2 turnovers on the game, and you have a chance of getting 3 with putting the ball on the ground another time. You're going to lose this game. Drake May cannot turn the ball over in this game. You just can't. Houston pounces on you when you turn the ball over. I think Drake May got probably the wild card jitters out of him because he looked a little shell shocked. He's like, oh my God, I'm in a postseason game. Like he was not ready for that moment. And I get it. It's your first postseason game. He was not ready for that moment. So maybe him getting that first game under the belt has given him confidence. We'll see. He's playing a better defense. He's playing a front seven that could eat you alive and dictate a game. Patriots defense was great. Like, they were great against the Chargers. The Chargers offense was not good, but they did a great job of attacking what the Chargers weren't good at, their weakness. And something that I alluded to, if the Chargers are going to lose this game against the Patriots, it's because they're tackles. They could not protect Justin Herbert. And I also think Justin Herbert just was not comfortable. And I do think at times, the broadcast alluded to it, that Herbert had the time. He just wasn't, like, I don't think he knew he had the time because I think he's been used to not having the time based off what their offensive line has done. Some trends, 14-3 record, as we know, among lowest penalty teams. They don't get penalized, and they thrive in slow, low-scoring, controlled games. Prediction time. I went back and forth on this one. Right now, Wednesday night, the New England Patriots are -3.5 via DraftKings via Wednesday night, so obviously subject to change. I went back and forth in this one. I am leaning Patriots to win. I'm going to take the Patriots to win the game. I'm going to take the Houston Texans to cover. The one thing I will say that could make this prediction wrong, the Houston Texans defense, but more importantly, the Houston Texans front seven can do enough damage to just win the game outright. They did that against Pittsburgh Steelers. The front seven plus the defense, or as a whole, but mainly the front seven, won the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can do that against anybody in the National Football League. They can do that on Sunday against the Patriots. So if you see early on that front seven is winning consistently over and over again, it's going to be a long day for the Patriots. I think the Patriots do enough to squeak by this game. The Texans cover. I'm going to take the Patriots over the Texans. I went back and forth a couple times because I do think the Texans' defensive line can dictate a football game, but I'm going to take the Patriots, Houston to cover. Let me know what you guys got down below in the comment section. Final game. I love doing this. This is awesome. Rams, Bears. Woo! Get your jackets ready. It's going to be a cold one. Rams, Bears. LA -3.5. This game is on NBC and Peacock. Shout out NBC and Peacock on 6:30 on Sunday night. Rams right now via DraftKings on Wednesday night are 3.5-point favorites. We'll start with what we did last week. Rams. I picked the Rams to win, and I picked the Panthers to cover. I was right. I was double right. So, a little round of applause for me there. And I also picked the Bears to win and the Bears to cover. Round of applause for me there. Rams defeated the Panthers 34-31. The Rams just kept the Panthers in that football game, and all of a sudden the Panthers took the lead and had a chance to win that football game. That was the thing. The Rams kept the Panthers in the game, and then the Panthers hung around long enough to take the lead and almost win that game. The Bears did the opposite. The Packers steamrolled the Bears in the first half, but like we've seen a million times with the Bears this year and Caleb Williams, their offense gets going, their defense gets stops, and Caleb Williams makes some magic plays in the fourth quarter, and that game was awesome to win. So Rams and obviously Bears moved on. Talk about the Rams, 30.5 points per game, 395 yards per game. Their offense is awesome. Their offense is explosive. Right, they run the ball with Corum and Kyron Williams. They're in that Shanahan-McVay offense where they inside zone. They want to set the tone by running the ball. They're going to run the ball no matter who their quarterback is, and they have Matthew Stafford, and they still are going to consistently run the ball. Obviously, Puka Nacua, obviously Devontae Adams. My biggest thing is, what is the health of Matthew Stafford? I think he's probably going to be fine. He's going to be a little banged up. Who isn't banged up this year or at the moment of this year? But that is something to watch. Defensive rank. They're middle of the pack unit. Like, we know that. They were inconsistent against Carolina. They weren't terrific. They give up a lot of big plays. Something that concerns me if you're picking the Rams or you're looking for the Rams to win this game against Chicago. Chicago thrives on big plays. The Rams have struggled at times guarding the big play. They do play much better with the lead. Some trends here: score 30-plus points frequently. When they score 28-plus points, they're really hard to beat. But they did allow 31 points to the Panthers in the wild card round. That is something that concerns me. You know what something that also concerns me? It's going to be really cold. It's going to be it's just going to be cold. It's going to be a much different game than what we saw in Carolina for the Rams. The Bears are used to the cold. They just played in the cold. Their team's from Chicago. I know people want to like overlook it because it's such an easy thing. And I'm not saying don't pick Rams, or I'm not saying I'm not going to pick the Rams because of the cold. Like that, I think that's a silly excuse, but I think that is something to look at. That 31 points against the Panthers would be a little bit concerning for me if you're picking the Rams. The Bears. Can the Bears do it again? Like, can the Bears get down early and come back and beat the Rams? Because they just did that to a good Green Bay Packers team. Not a great Green Bay Packers team. I don't think the Green Bay Packers are better than the Rams, but we're not talking about like they did that against the Cleveland Browns. They did that against Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, right? And a team that knows each other. They both know each other so well. Their offense is super explosive, but it's super explosive in the second half. Can Caleb Williams and this offense find a way to get some rhythm and some points on the board in the first half? Because we know how good they are in the second half. Can they do that? We'll find out. They're good at playing from behind offensively. We know that. Like, we've seen that countless times this year. And obviously, Caleb Williams is ascending. Their defense is not good. At times, it's been better, but it's not a good defense. The Rams should be able to torch the Chicago Bears all night defensively or offensively against their defense. They struggle to get off the field. They only really survive off turnovers, and they're bottom tier in yards allowed. And it's just like when both things are, it's weird. Like when the Bears offense isn't working, their defense isn't working. But when the Bears offense is working, the defense finds a way to get these like weird bounces, weird timely stops. It's just a weird Chicago Bears team. They just came back from 18 down in the wild card. They need to score more than 24 points to win games, and they have a good home crowd. Let me know in the comment section what you guys got down below, Rams or Bears. Rams are -3.5. I'm leaning Rams. It's not like Texans Patriots when I went back and forth on this. I'm going to take the Rams. I think I'm going to take the Rams to win. I'm going to take the Bears to cover. It's 3.5. I don't know really there. If it was under 3, I would probably take the Rams, but I like the Rams. I don't know if what the Bears are doing right now is sustainable. Like, I think if you get down big against LA, I think you're going to probably lose the game. You could say that they didn't do that against Carolina, but I think they can put you away if they want to, and they didn't against Carolina. The Rams defense has relied on so many fluky plays, so many weird bounces, timely interceptions by the offense, and the Bears offensively have relied on these big, explosive plays. Fair enough. The Rams struggle against big, explosive plays. We saw that in the Carolina game. We've seen that all year. So maybe that's a recipe for success against the Bears. I just don't know if their magic can work another week. It's been a great year 1 for Ben Johnson, a great year 2 for Caleb Williams. This team is ascending. They just won the division. They were second in the NFC. They won a playoff game, and they can win another, but I'm going to take the Rams. Let me know, guys, in the comment section what you got. Wow, that was fun. I love doing this. Recap. Bills over Broncos, Seahawks over 49ers, Patriots slightly over the Houston Texans, and then to cap it off on Sunday night, the Rams over the Bears. Let me know, guys, down in the comment section what you got. Don't go anywhere. We've dropped a ton of college football episodes. Those aren't going anywhere anytime soon. We got a college football national championship preview dropping. If you haven't checked out our first round, and I didn't do quarterfinals, some stuff came up, but first round and semifinals preview, please go check that out. I'm not going to go tell you to check out the wildcard episode because that's just stupid. All our links are in the description, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, follow us on social media at Talking Sports PD. And thank you to our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Use code TSP for a 100% deposit match up to $100 on Underdog Fantasy. Link is in the description. Don't go anywhere. Divisional round preview. You got wildcard round preview, 3,000 views on that. You guys did a great job. You guys did a great job. I think it's like 5,000 views on the semifinal preview, and you guys did a great job on the audio channels as well. So really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It means a lot. Like and comment as always. We'll be back next week. Actually, you'll see me next with a college football playoff preview. But if you're not a college football guy, next NFL will be obviously the AFC and NFC Championship preview. Enjoy the weekend. It was a great wild card weekend. It should be a great divisional round weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoy the weekend. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Enjoy the NFL. Enjoy the college football. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.